I started out to be a lawyer. Both of my parents were lawyers, and I loved, I didn't really know that much about the practice of law, but I loved politics. My dad was very involved in politics, and so I grew up as a kid. He ran campaigns, did those kind of things. So I grew up loving that. And then I did what I always knew I would do. I graduated from college and I went to law school, and I hated it. It was horrible. There were a lot of signs there all along that I should have recognized, I guess, when I was a kid. I went to every construction site. There were a lot of houses being built in Jonesboro in the 60s. When I was a kid, I went to every construction site. I gathered up every scrap of wood and nails and whatever and built tree houses. I drew. My mom had a big chalkboard in the den, and I did a whole lot of imaginary floor plans. My parents had a lot of architecture friends. It just never connected until I went to law school and really hated it and walked by that architecture building every day and would look up and fantasize about what they did, and so I quit law school and got into architecture school. I had that political science degree and I went to architecture school, and I remember at the time thinking, what a total waste of time. I have this degree in political science. It was just totally out the window, gone. I'm starting all over again. But once I got out of school and began to practice architecture, it started making sense to me a little bit that there's a lot of politics in business in general. So as my career evolved, somehow I sort of naturally evolved into a leadership position, because I think that my skills as an architect may not be that great, but I think I do have good people skills. I like dealing with people. Cromwell Architects, it's been around a long time. We have been around since 1885, which is kind of an awesome thing. And of course I feel very fortunate to be leading a company with that kind of history. We do work all over the world and all over the United States, and I'm really proud of that. We bring money into this state. You know, there are a lot of, we bring revenue into Arkansas. A lot of the money that we make is money from out of state coming into Arkansas to pay our employees, pay our taxes and those kind of things. So I think as a company, I'm really proud of what we contribute to this state that way. When I went to law school, there was the former dean, he's now deceased, his name was Richard Atkinson. When I went to law school, it was his first year. He came to Fayetteville with Bill and Hillary Clinton. He was in law school with them, and he came to Fayetteville and was a young professor, and he was my professor. And he was my advisor, and when I talked to him about how much I hated law school and how much I really thought I'd prefer to be an architect, he was very supportive. I take a lot of pride in what I do. I take more pride in what the people that work with me do. I am in this amazing position as the head of a company with 120 plus employees, and they are all very bright people. I don't know that I've done anything to move the business. I hope that what I've done is helped accommodate people collaborating, and it's hard. Architecture and engineering can get very tense at times. You have deadlines, and there's a lot of work to do, and people get kind of short-fused, but you have to work together, and you can't blow up and refuse to, the hell with you, I'm doing it my way. It just doesn't work. I love to solve problems, and I'm kind of a nosy body, I guess, so I'm very curious about what other people do. And architecture is all about being a good listener and figuring out what people do and helping make it easier for them to do what they do.